Students, today we see the structure of fertilized egg of hen. Now, you people have seen the egg. So, it is the fully formed, newly laid egg of hen. It's a large elliptical structure having its one end broader than the other. In its vertical section, following structures can be observed from its outer side to inner side. Actually, you people don't know. You know only the yellow yolk and white is the albumin. Only two structures you have seen up till now. But in this lecture, we have to see the detail. So from outer side, what you see, the first one, that is the egg shell, that white colored. So it is made up of from the calcareous salt and mainly in the form of calcite. So it is porous and containing about 7,000 pores per egg. So for what purpose it is porous? To carry out the exchange of gases with the outside air. The pores are filled with organic substance related to collagen, and in an average hen's egg, pores have a diameter of zero point zero 0.04 to zero point zero 0.05 mm. Very little, you can't see with the naked eye. The pores are more numerous at the broader end and permit diffusion of O2 and CO2. Actually, when we see the hen's egg structure, the broader end, see, this is the internal structure. This broader end is having the developing ova. So, okay, we will see one by one. Shell membrane. Just below the shell, one membrane is there. When you break the egg, you will notice that membrane. Now you can, what you do, you just try to make an omelette and see the structure, whatever you studied now. Now the shell membrane, just immediately underneath the egg shell, two shell membranes which contain fibers of keratin matted together. The outer membrane is thick, tough, with the inner one is thin. So thin membranes are there. On the broader end, where there is outer and inner membranes are separated from the air chamber. See this at this point. See this space. This is the air chamber. Now albumin. Albumin is actually a white part of the egg, as you studied. But we broadly know the albumin. But what is this? Actually, the space of egg between the inner shell membrane and vitelline membrane or ovum is filled with albumin or white of egg. The albumin is proteinous in nature. It is actually protein with 85% water and 15% protein, which are of three types: ovalbumin, avidin, and lysozyme. So the albumin surrounds the centrally located ovum and is separated in two parts. See the picture. Now the outer is one more watery and is called thin albumin. The inner one is from the closed sac completely surrounding the yolk. See here. This dotted part is a albumin. Two spirally twisted cord-like strands called chalazi are projected at either end of the yolk. See here. The coiled rope-like part, this is the chalazi. You can see on either side of the yolk. Now, the main part, oham. So, where you see this oham, now this is the complete inner structure of the egg. So, this is fertilized egg. It is large spherical body embedded in the albumin, occupying a central position of the egg. Ovum is surrounded by a thin and transparent vitelline membrane. See the structure. Blastodisc, right side the vitelline membrane. The inner layer of vitelline membrane is produced in the ovary, in the space between oocyte and follicle cells. This layer is composed of very rough fibers. The outer, more finely fibrous layer is then formed on the top first when the egg enters the upper portion of the fallopian tube. Just inner to inner vitelline membrane occurs the plasma membrane of the ovum. You can see in the ovum, that is inside ovum, occurs abundant yolk. See here, in the inner is the yolk, white yolk. See here, the rounded structure. Two types are there, white yolk, yellow yolk. The principal accumulation of white yolk lies, see here, in a central flask shaped area called as latebra. See the center position, which extend toward the blastrodome and broadens under it to mass known as nucleus of Pander. See the diagram very carefully. Nucleus of Pander on the upper side, and in the center there is a latebra. See here, central part, and this is the nucleus of Pander, this portion. And this is the upper side, that is the blastodisc. That is actually a developing ovum. So, in this way, so this is the internal structure. Now, the outermost yolk immediately under the vitelline membrane is always white. Now, the germinal disc or blastodisc, see here, is a small circular whitish area of active cytoplasm, which is situated at the top of yolk. It represents the living portion of the ovum and undergoes embryogenesis. So, this blastodisc is the living area, and this will get turned into a small offspring and utilizes all the yolk and protein for the complete development, and after 21 days you will get one little chicken. Okay, so this is the internal structure or structure of the fertilized egg. Now, blastulation. We know that in this area, after fertilization, you know how fertilization is occur by union of male gamete and female gamete. So both the gamete unite here, and blastodisc, that is a living zygote, is there. Now what happened? The next development starts. So you people very well know, after fertilization what happened? Cleavage is there. So cleavage means continuous division of that cell into 2, 4, 16, 32, 64, like that. Divide, and many cells are formed. And this position comes where the so many cells are formed and one cavity is get ready. So that structure is called as blastulation, and the cavity is called as blastular cavity. So same thing is happened here in the egg also. And the blastulation, that is the division of the egg, starts. See here, from the upper side you can see the blastodisc like that. So that cleavage is there. So the first cleavage is furrow, consists of slight meridional incision near the center of the germinal disc. So after division, you will get the blastula, and the cavity is called as blastular cavity. Now here, when you see the structure, this is the LS cut. You can see here the area opaca, and here yolk is there. Upper layer is called as epiblast, posterior marginal zone, and this type of blastulation is occur in this blastodisc of the hen's egg. So this division gate here, you will get the blastocele, epiblast, and blastocele, the cavity. So this is the blastulation of the hen's egg. So you will get the area epiblast, blastocele, area opaca, area pellucida. The central area is called as area pellucida, and marginal to margin to this is called as area opaca. It is opaque. So that's why it is called as area opaca. See, from the upper side, if you see the structure, see this. Area pellucida is the central one, and area opaca surrounding this area pellucida. So this is the complete blastulation of the hen's egg. So hen's egg, and then we come to the fate map of chick embryo. Fate map means the which area is in future will going to develop into which organ. So that is called as fate map of the hen's egg. So here the yolk sac, gut, central part is developed into gut. Before that, we can see the area in the upper side extraembryonic ectoderm, below embryonic epidermis, neural plate, gut, somites form yolk sac, lateral plates, extraembryonic mesoderm is there. So the blastoderm in birds consists of two parts, area pellucida and area opaca. So the area opaca does not take part in the formation of body of the embryo, but instead it gives rise to extraembryonic ectoderm, which during later developmental stages form extraembryonic membrane. Which one? Area opaca. And blood vessels of the area vesiculosa. Therefore, the fate map is so formed as a part of embryo are concerned, and it is restricted to only central part, that is the area pellucida. Furthermore, the blastoderm is bilaminar consisting of epiblast and hypoblast. Two layers are there, and it goes on changing itself. So what perspective ectoderm and mesoderm gives here? The anterior half of the epiblast area of the pellucida is prospective epidermis and consists of embryo extraembryonic membrane. Then the crescentic area occupying the rear epidermis laying most in the middle four area pellucida is presumptive embryonic neural system. See the central part, neural plate. So you can see the from the above the blastodisc, that is the blastocele, and which area is going to develop into which part in the future, that here shown here. So according to Weddington, the area containing somatic mesoderm is situated in the midline behind the notochordal area, and most of the posterior half of the area pellucida is occupied by the material giving rise to mesodermal lining body cavity. It includes extraembryonic mesoderm, which does not contribute to the formation of embryo proper. So this diagram is very important. So you have to read 4 or 5 times, then you will get understand the diagram and explanation of this egg. Now, when you see the chick blastrodome showing the fate map from the upper side and the LS, see here. The anterior, posterior side, epidermal ectoderm, notochord in between, somatic mesoderm. Just we have seen neuroectoderm, precaudal plate, and mesoderm. So if you see on the lateral side section, so A1 is the entire, just this observed structure, this one. Okay, and when you cut, so you will get this structure, and this is the cheek blastodome showing the fate maps. So which organ is developed into in which area. So the fate map for the hypoblast points out that the latter is mainly prospective endoderm, though only small part is actually get incorporated into alimentary canal of the embryo, and remaining part gives rise to the lining of yolk sac. So in this way, this is the fate map of the hen's egg. Next time we will see the gastrulation in chick. So it is actually a blastula. This is the first stage after the fertilization. Blastula and then gastrula, and then next development is taking place. So it is very interesting to understand this thing. So you read for this topic, and next time I will take gastrulation in the chick. Okay, thank you.